Hikecast number 10. We're here at Barlow Pass, right at the beginning of the Monte Cristo Trail. It's an 8-mile hike round trip, but it's a fairly easy one because it used to be a road back before it became road closed, extreme danger, proceed at your own risk, you're going to die, so on and so forth. The funny thing is it's actually one of the safest hikes ever because it's mostly flat. It used to be a road. There's not a lot of places you could fall down and die. The hike goes out to Monte Cristo, the old mining town, a lot of historical interest out there, and really this hike is a sort of a staging hike for a lot of other really cool hikes that hopefully we'll get a chance to do in the near future, next year. And well, for now, let's hike out there and see what we can find. Most of the trail is under trees, but every once in a while there's some breaks, giving you some panoramas, like this one. It's been about 3 years since I've hiked this, and there's been some changes with the bad winters we've been having and so forth, but kudos to the Monte Cristo Preservation Association, who worked out an alternate route and put up a trail and bridge and trails and so forth, because this is pretty nice considering the junk that's covering the whole what used to be the trail. But we're maybe a half-mile in or so, and so far so good. It's really hot today, but fortunately this is a nice shady trail, so I think we picked the right hike for today. Well, this is where the road used to be, right along through this empty space here. Lots of damage over these last couple winters, and it's pretty much impassable for anything with 4 wheels now. But on the upside we get a beautiful view of, I believe, Barlow Creek right here, and the rest of the vistas and so forth. So the loss of all the poor property owners down here is definitely the rest of our game. So this trail these days is not as easy as it used to be, particularly with that particular bridge being largely washed out and hard to get to. So right now we're going to go up along the creek for a little while trying to find an appropriate place to ford. So we found a place to ford, or rather we found a log to cross, which is moderately harrowing, but not the worst thing in the world. As a historical stop on our tour, this is the site of the old Whedon House, which was a station house for the Monte Cristo to Everett Railroad, and it was the headquarters for various mines that mined this area between 1896 and 1969. Not much sign of it left, though. Mother Nature has taken back her own, as she tends to do whenever we drop our guard. Here we've got some more of the beautiful views we've been getting, including that waterfall way in the distance there. It's been a lovely hike. After that bit with the logs and the river and so forth, it calmed down significantly. We're back onto the railroad grade. It's been nice and straight and mostly flat, though a little bit of uphill here and there. Here's a little bit more history. Here are the actual rails that make this railroad grade back from the old Monte Cristo to Everett Railroad. And you can see the big chunk that the weather took out of it this past winter or so. I mentioned earlier the folks that own property up here. This portion of the trail up until Monte Cristo is actually private land by those same people who own the mines back when they were mines, or somebody who bought it from them or whatever. And there used to be a house right there. There still is one that's standing down there, but this one is no more. Though I typically prefer my hikes to be up high, there is something to be said for staying low and looking up at some of this stuff. And the Monte Cristo Trail provides ample opportunity for that kind of thing. Welcome to Monte Cristo. There's not a whole lot else to say. We can't really see the town, except we're invited to visit the Monte Cristo Lodge. I don't think it's there anymore. This is the first section of the Monte Cristo town site. Various outbuildings and so forth. The railway turntable is down over there. Various bits and pieces of mining equipment and stuff lying down here. This part's also a helicopter search and rescue area, but there's a little bit more town site up into the woods. You go check that out. The main part of the town is actually up here pretty a ways away from the flat part that I showed you just before. This here is what used to be the main thoroughfare of Monte Cristo, called Dumas Street. Get it? Monte Cristo. Dumas, anyway. Used to be covered by a 30 to 40 foot wide boardwalk. We had houses and saloons and garages and the Royal Hotel right here. Can't you see it? It was right here. Used to be here, and now there's nothing but a few flat spots here and there and signs like this one to show you where things used to be. And then over here is one of the neatest things in this area. It's the Kai's Memorial. A guy who grew up in this area, he planted this tree when he was a kid. Went into the Forest Service, and then when World War II broke out, he went into the Navy. And he was commanding the USS Leary in the North Atlantic when he was hit by a submarine. He got everybody out. He gave his life jacket to a black mess attendant who didn't have one, and he went down with this ship. And this is sort of the memorial to him. And there's a little plaque from the U.S. Naval Academy over there. It's a neat thing, kind of out here in the middle of nowhere, just a reminder of those who've come before and that kind of thing. This here is the Peabody Garage. It's one of the very few buildings up here that's still standing, barely. It's very dangerous and could fall over at any moment. But gives you sort of a sense of what was up here years ago. As I mentioned before, one of the main purposes of the Monte Cristo Trail is as a way to get to other trails. One of these is the Poodle Dog Pass Trail. It goes to Silver and Twin Lakes. I've never done this. Really want to. I'm hoping to do it next year sometime. And then if you go off the direction we were earlier, actually, down Dumas Street, you get to Glacier Basin, which I have done, and which is beautiful. Also very difficult, but beautiful. Well, we're back here at the river. This is not, like I thought, Barlow Creek. This is, in fact, the South Fork of the Sauk River, which is different. One suggestion. When you get to this part, should you do this hike, which I do recommend, don't do what we did. We just went straight ahead. There's kind of a trail that goes along the river, and it's pretty muddy, and it doesn't work super well, but that's what we did. Instead, there is a trail right here. Go to the Weeden Creek Trail, Gothic Basin, number 724. Do that trail, and then you'll go up the hill a bit, and then you'll see some pink stuff. You'll see some pink, dangly, plastic stuff, and that'll signal you how to get back onto the Monte Cristo Trail. And it's just a little simpler, and not as muddy, mainly. Well, now we're back. It's the end of the hike. 5 hours all told, with about an hour of relaxing, so not too bad. A couple things. One is location. Location specifically, it's on the Mountain Loop Highway, which is newly reopened, just ways past the entrances to the Mount Pillichuck Trailhead, past the Verlot Ranger Station, south of Darrington. Also, the other trails I mentioned, the Poodle Dog Pass and Glacier Basin and all that, one good thing you can do with that is take this trail, this nice, easy 4-mile trail, in the afternoon, camp at the campsite right next to the town site, and then head out in the morning. We've done that before. It's very nice. In general, this is a beautiful trail. Everybody that lives in the Northwest should do this. It will teach you a little bit about some history. It's beautiful, and it's not very hard, so you really have no excuses. Come on down.